So a lot of people are asking me if it's still worth studying programming and development to start in the career of software development in 2026. And it's a hard question. Actually, it's not the right question, but it's been hard to make sense in this new world because definitely a lot has changed in this year, in the past months, with these new agents, Claude Code, Codex. Now, out of a sudden, a lot of people with very little experience are able to create software and high quality software, being able to create companies, SaaS, with just a very few basic prompts. So for the people who are studying computer software, who wants to be a developer, who saw it in the past as a path of a profession, now is in a crisis because maybe no one will need to write software in the future. I will help you guys answer this question and make sense in this new era of computer programming. And I will start with this very, very basic reality to help you guys make sense, which is asking the question that if it's still worth studying is not the right question. But the thing is, the barrier, the challenge to start in this career, it raised a lot in the past months. If you think about in last year, 2 years, 3 years ago, if you start studying development, programming, if you really focus and had a mentoring, a guided study, you'll be able to get a junior role in 6 months, maybe in 3 months. I have a few students which I guided who are able to get a junior position with 3 months studying computer programming. But the truth is, after Codex and Cloud Code and all of new models, the definition of a junior programmer, it changed. Now, if I think in my experience, if I think at the experience of other colleagues, if a guy appear to me with 3 months, 6 months studying development, I will have a hard time hiring this person. Now, with all of the possibilities that I can do with Cloud Code and Codex, you can just spin a few prompts and have a whole front end working and very, very nice, and you can write features and connect to database, and the agents are really good at navigating in large code bases. With all of these skills and capabilities in my hand, a lot of tasks that I personally would handle to a junior, I wouldn't anymore because I would do it myself. It doesn't mean that juniors, developers doesn't exist anymore because that doesn't make any sense. Some people are saying, okay, we will not have juniors anymore, and in a few years we will not have programmers because no one is entering this field anymore. It doesn't make no sense. We will have juniors, but the definition of a junior has changed. The bar to start in the career has changed. So this thinking guides us to a second question, which is, okay, the definition of a junior has changed. So what is right now the definition of a junior? What do I need to know to be hired as a junior developer? And this, my friends, is a very hard question to answer, especially because things are changing a lot. But I can give you guys a few guidances, a few tips, a few starting points to start reasoning about. All right? Okay. So, as I always said, if you follow my previous videos, if you know me, if you know my roadmap of the skills that a junior needs to have, a mid needs to have, a senior needs to have, not a lot has changed. I still think that a junior needs to know needs to have the right mental model of how to develop on its entirety a CRUD application. A front end that connects to a backend, which exposes some APIs for creating some entity, reading some entity, updating some entity, and deleting some entity, which is the definition of CRUD, C-R-U-D. And then this backend connects to a database which you had set up. You know how to model the tables, the entities. You know how to write migrations, let it be in Postgres or MySQL or whatever relational database you want to choose. And then you take this whole application and you deploy it to any free cloud platform, Heroku, AWS with credits, Vercel, or etc. If you're able to build a front end, a back end, and a database, and model all of this, and understand how everything connects, like if you know how to do that, if you get to the point where you build a personal project with all of the 3 pieces, deploy to cloud, and post it on your GitHub using Git, then I still think that you fits as a junior. But that's the catch. Currently, a senior developer, previously a senior developer, you need a junior developer to create this type of things. Now a senior developer can do this with Claude Code in a snap. But to evolve this very simple architecture to something more complex, even if you're using Claude Code, you need to understand it deeply to judge if the directions that the Claude Code or Codex is going are the correct directions, right? And if you know this, if you are able to have this kind of rationale, then I think you are a junior developer already, and you'll be fit to be hired and paid as a junior developer. But I think that over time, imagine the other professions. What happened with other professions, like the more classical professions? You have the civil construction engineer, you have, I don't know, mechanical engineer, you have lawyer, you have mathematicians, I don't know. To get a profession in this very specialized type of knowledge, you need at least 4 years of university, of a bachelor degree. You need at least 2 more years, 1 year of preparation to enter in the university, 4 years of university, 1 year after the university. You need at least 4 to 6 years of preparation to get a decent job as a junior in all of these other professions. But currently, in software development, you still don't need to have 6 years of preparation, maybe 1 year, 1.5 years. But I think on the long run, will just be a normal profession where you need to dedicate a lot of effort into knowledge, into studying, into getting to know the fundamentals to finally be able to generate value to a company, to a person, and then be hired and paid as you're worth. Okay? Let me know in the comments if you agree or if you disagree, or if you have any questions that maybe I can answer. Thank you.